What's going on, my people? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, it is the weekend. I'm recording this at night before I go to sleep, and you guys know weekend is family time for me, so I'm going to have some pre-recorded stuff out for you guys, hopefully enough to keep you guys busy, and this is going to be an important one. So first off, I want to say just a quick shout out to everybody. Have a great Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. I am going to be away for 3 days next week, taking my wife to a spa, a well-deserved break for both of us. So I will be away, so I'm going to try to drill out as much content as I can. And just so you guys are aware, the moment the new unit drops and the new update drops, I will be doing hopefully a 7 to 8 hour live stream, full testing, full summoning, perhaps a collaboration again with you know who, and try to get as much as we can under our belt with the new content that's out and giving you guys all the details you need. With that being said, there is something I do want to show you guys and talk about, a topic that is probably going to help you understand what you should be saving for in the future. Now, I've done a few of these guides already regarding artifacts, a few of these guides regarding other topics. Now, this one here is going to be regarding shadows. Now, you guys are aware, Tusk is obviously the next upcoming shadow. We're aware of this. We already fought Kargalaga again many times, and whether, you know, it be from bot or story mode or hard mode or reverse, whatever you've done, right? Actually, reverse mode is not out yet. So, you know he's coming up as a shadow, right? We know Tusk is obviously the shadow. So I want to talk to you guys about the importance of Tusk and why you should be saving for him and what units he's going to deeply, and I mean deeply, affect in a very positive manner. Okay, so with that being said, I am on the free-to-play account. You guys can see here, Army of Shadows, he is already here. He's just locked, so some of you guys don't know what he's all about. So let me show you guys what he's all about. So first off, shout out to Alphaleaker as usual. These are all from him. He's been my main source for any type of unreleased content. Yes, I know this is unreleased, so hopefully I don't get in trouble, but we'll find out. So here is what we're doing. Okay, so Tusk, this is our boy. You guys can see he looks menacing AF, first off. So very actually accurate depiction of how he looks like in the manhwa and the anime whenever he comes out. I don't think he's out in the anime. I think anime stopped at Igris, so we haven't seen him yet. So here's what he does and why he plays such an important role. So I'm going to go through his entire kit for you guys to explain why he's going to be your #1 most used unit or a shadow when you use these specific units, especially ones who are core related. So you guys can see here, all team members' core attack damage increased by 40%, guys. And this is at the minimum level. 40 freaking percent. It's an insane amount of a multiplication added to core damage. Now, I'll talk more about the units he's going to affect deeply. You probably have a few of them in your mind already, and you're probably right. We have the highest end version of him at 70%. So when you push him to max, you'll get 70 freaking percent, which is insane numbers, guys. Insane. He will, outside of Igris and Blades, he will be your #1 used. I think he will be your #1 used unit, depending on obviously the content you use, and again, the units that you're using with him. And then these are his moves. Okay, so basic attack, the user attacks by throwing mana power towards the ground, creating a small explosive area. So this is going to be an AoE, which does 220% damage, which is awesome when you're clearing ads or a lot of mobs. Basic attack here, the user attacks by throwing forward-facing fireballs. This looks like Fiery Blade, sorry. So we've seen this already where he kind of just does it on the ground, right? With a stomp. If you fight him in story mode or even bot, he does this skill. Tracking fire orbs, we've also seen this one. The user creates a divination circle to the floor or to the front and fires 6 tracking fire orbs at the enemy. I think he does this to us in the game as well. So these are all the same moves that he does when you're fighting him. Erupting flames, the user attacks the enemy with flames that erupt beneath the ground. The target is standing on 5 times. Again, we've seen this one. It's like one of his earliest moves that he does when you start the fight. This is the perfect time for you to do a perfect dodge, obviously, or extreme evasion, sorry. And then, of course, the last one is concentrated heat. So the user gathers heat above their head to create a giant fire orb before throwing it to the enemy. Damage is 468.75% of the user's attack. When using the skill, also the attack increase effects to all shadows increases attack by 30% for shadows, including him. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, does the effect when you summon your shadows, if you have the final skill, does it affect Jinnu? I've actually never paid attention to that. I always assumed it didn't, to be honest. Could be wrong. So I will test that out and let you guys know. Okay, so here you guys can see his full skill. So again, shout out to Alpha for this one. This is out for a long time ago. If I had a chance to actually go through it, give my opinions on it. So here is your list of shadows. Now here is the caveat to this, right? There's three little problems that you may want to consider before saving for Tusk. And then the main reason why you want to save for him. I should never notice all these cool shadows in the background. That's actually awesome. So first off, one of the minor problems, of course, is when you hit chapter 13, you're going to need to actually promote a shadow one time to advance further to get yourself further in the challenge modes, okay, which gives you quite a bit of resources, by the way. So some of you guys may have already gone ahead and done so and promoted one of your boys here. A promotion, by the way, costs you guys 150 traces of shadows at 22,000 gold, okay, just so you guys are aware, that's how that works. The other thing to remember is also you have 2 story modes if you are planning to get as much trophies as possible that require you to have both iron and tank. So if you go to chapter 15, you guys will see here, 15.5, 15 right here, the requirements for 2 of them, I believe, if I recall. Let me just see where that is. Is it 15 or 14? Oh, it's 14. Sorry, guys. 14. Here we go. Right here. Use tank as a shadow, use iron as a shadow. So in order for you to fulfill these little requirements, like this is the main reason why I got these guys, to be honest with you, and have not been saving more, is because I wanted to get the full 3 stars to get myself the additional tokens to summon. Right? Again, not major. You're missing out two trophies at best, and obviously you're missing out 2 tokens here. Not the end of the world, right? So it is definitely something that you may want to consider saving, unless you are a perfectionist like I am and you are looking to complete everything as a free-to-play player or pay-to-win player. It doesn't really matter. As you guys can see here all across the board, I have completed this. So those are the main reasons why you want to hold on to your traces. Obviously, the other reason, of course, is pushing your units and promoting them even further, because as you can see here, when you promote a unit for Shadow, you get additional skills like Blade Axle here, which does more damage and also applies attack increase effect for the user, which in this case is him. And again, I don't know if this actually affects Jinno or not. I have to look. Next time I summon, I'll actually, and he does Blade Axle, I'll try my best to see if this actually does give me a buff. I've actually never noticed it, so I don't think it does. I think it only affects him and the shadows, but I could be wrong. So I'll definitely look into that before I go any further with that topic. So with that being said, if you don't care about those 2 trophies, you don't care about promoting, and you're just a massive Tusk fan because he looks like a badass, he's an orc shaman or orc mage, I guess in this case, here are the units he's going to deeply affect. And these are some very, very powerful units. Okay, so let's talk about a couple hunters that rely strictly on their core attacks. Okay, first off, let's start off with some of the easier ones. Lim. Where are you? Dark Ranger. So let's go to, I don't have him yet on my free-to-play account, but I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about right over here. So Lim actually does require his core attack quite a bit. His core attack does a lot of different damage and also is a great break mechanism. The more of this you do, the more damage this will do, obviously. So, and plus, his skills here, this one over here specifically, where he shoots and maneuvers, he actually activates his core attack very, very, very often. So if you're a Lim user, you absolutely want to have Tusk as your main shadow to get that buff in order to boost his core attack even further, doing even additional damage and more break damage as well too. So Lim is a heavy requirement on that one, and he'll use it. Next one, SM Beck. SM Beck is massive for this, especially because his core damage, Slaughter, actually does activate his bleed very often. So this will actually give you guys way more damage on his core attack, which is part of his kit, one of the bigger part of his kits as a matter of fact, and help you guys do additional damage by using him. But most importantly, the unit that really, really shines the most for any core attack, and they all really have pretty decent core attacks, guys, don't get me wrong, like all these core attacks are fairly strong. Like even Dong Su's core attack is really strong, so he would actually benefit from this quite a bit. Look, it's 800%. Imagine putting an extra 70% or 40% on top of that. So even Dong Su is very, very powerful. A lot of these guys here, core attacks matter quite a bit, but the person that it matters most to is none other than the featured banner, Alicia. Alicia's core attack is so powerful, and you can build it up so quickly, and it becomes bitter cold or bitter ice spear or whatever the heck it becomes from her skill set, that it literally destroys everything. Like everything. And I'm talking about this right here, right? So Frost Arrow, it's already 1050 at level 1. When it becomes bitter cold spear, it levels up so fast. It goes up to 180% more damage. Now add an extra 40 to 70% on top of this. Yo, she's hitting like gangbusters. So Tusk is going to make Alicia a #1 wanted girl with that shadow buff, because that core attack, sorry guys, I'm just spinning her around here because Goddamn, why not? So you definitely want to take advantage of that Bitter Cold Spear buff, that, or the core buff, to make this even hit harder. So if you have not been watching my videos in terms of how to use her from A0 to A1 and then A2 to A3 or A2 to A5, she plays completely different, by the way. You want to use her completely differently at that point. I've done the Cerberus run. Check it out. If you build your 5 stacks, guys, and do 180% more damage, and then you put Tusk in place and give that additional 40 to 70% more damage on her core, she is going to be the hardest hitting unit in the game. She pretty much already is next to Cha. They're so neck and neck at this point. It's hard to tell who does more damage where. So yeah, guys, my suggestion, if you are an Alicia fan and you have Alicia and you have been using her, or if you're a Lim fan or an SM fan or a Dongsu fan, Tusk is going to be your #1 go-to unit shadow going forward. So don't start spending and promoting everybody. Save up, get him up there, promote him instead, and take advantage of that bonus to the core damage and destroy everything in sight with Alicia. That's my suggestion for you. Alright guys, this is Payne. Hope this video was insightful. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.